Let me show you probably the best affordable mini chainsaw there is. So this actually runs from Makita 18-volt batteries. You can either run it with the original Makita batteries or purchase maybe like third-party ones. And I would say really the main advantage of this chainsaw over other chainsaws is really that it can use the Makita batteries. So it can deliver a lot of power, and really the power delivery and like power you can get from this chainsaw is really nice. So there are actually many similar chainsaws in the market, and I think this type is the best one. So I have the brushless motor version. Again, this is not the cheapest one. I think the cheapest ones cost around maybe like $20. I paid a bit over $30 for this chainsaw, but the cheapest ones run from regular brushed motors, and they aren't really as powerful. Also, the length of this blade basically is I think 20 centimeters. Again, on the cheap ones you only get like this size blade, and I do not think it's enough. Also, another huge advantage of this chainsaw over another's is basically that it has this guard basically, and this is absolutely awesome guard. So when you are actually sawing something, nothing really comes at you. So for example, when I use my regular chainsaw, I have to wear like glasses and stuff like that because like chips come at me, but this one pretty much keeps 99.9% of chips and like dust away from you. So real nice. Also, some of these chainsaws actually have like place where you can basically fill up oil as well, so it oils itself as well. And to take it apart, you can simply screw it. By the way, the chain adjusting mechanism, I wouldn't say it's the best, as often it's quite sloppy and sometimes it really comes apart. So maybe the chain slacks a lot with this chain adjusting mechanism basically. So this is what you can expect to get from these cheap tools. By the way, I have used this saw for like 3 or 4 months already, and it's absolutely brilliant. So you can see what's here basically. So it does have metal gears. So yeah, I think it's actually pretty good. But as you see, after a few months of use, you can see there is some wear on this blade. Again, this chain adjusting mechanism isn't perfect, I would say, and often the chain simply falls off and you have to take off this cover and readjust it, so it's sometimes a bit of faff. I think that's the only negative of this chainsaw. When it comes to the chain quality, I think it's okay, I would say. It's obviously a cheap chain, and I think if you actually like put on like higher quality chain on this chainsaw, it would saw faster and it would be a bit better. But still, I can't really complain much about the chain itself as well. Again, we have to keep in remember that this is like $30 chainsaw, and the Makita chainsaw original one costs like 150 at least. So at least 5 times more than this one, and this still does a really good job. Also, the handle is really good, and you do get a basic safety like here, so you can't really press this unless you also press this. So you basically have to press this to start it. And also you have this guard here as well, so maybe you can't knock your hand somewhere. Again, very good design overall, I think. And the ergonomics, I think, is pretty good as well. When we compare the handle quality of actual Makita power tools, yeah, they are obviously very good quality. Maybe this is like a few percent worse, but I still think this is very decent quality. And yeah, I can't really complain about the build quality of the plastics or anything else really. Again, yeah, this is pretty much spot on, and this is what it looks over here. Again, for this price, yeah, you can't really complain. Also, the overall speed of this chainsaw also is fairly good, as you can see, and it gets up to speed fairly fast as well. And this is what the chainsaw looks like actually compared to an actual Makita chainsaw. That is probably one of the best ones. Again, this chainsaw is literally like 10 times more expensive than this one, maybe even more like. Also, really the size of it is also one of the main advantages. By the way, this one is also a very compact chainsaw. Usually the chainsaws are even larger than this one, but this way with the battery is like 5 kilos, whereas this one, small one, only over 1 kilo, like 1.5 kilos. By the way, guess which one I'm actually using the most? This small cheap one. I literally use like 9 out of 10 times this small one, because it can do the same job for most of the stuff. Obviously, if you need to cut very large logs, this can do that much faster, and yeah, it's obviously way better chainsaw. But really, I still use this pretty much every time. I wish I hadn't bought actually this chainsaw, because again, this was literally like 10 times more expensive, and I'm not really even using this. I'm using this one because for small or medium jobs, really this is a much better tool. It's more comfortable, to hold and also use. It's not as powerful, but that also is an advantage. You really you have to be extremely careful basically with this one, and wear heavy protection when working with this one. With this one, yeah, I don't really wear any protection whatsoever when using with this one, as yeah, it's very manageable. And yeah, if you are, for example, a woman, really forget about this one, get this one. Also, yeah, this guard on this chainsaw is superb, and I actually use this proper one. Basically all the chips keep flying at me, and yeah, it's not pleasant to use. So yeah, this one again much better. When it comes to the maximum stuff it can cut, I think it's suitable maybe for up to like 15 centimeters, like as you can see, maybe this is the maximum I would cut with this. And this saw probably is the best suitable for maybe pruning work, maybe if you want to cut some tree and you don't need a huge saw. This is perfect, as it's very easy to work. You, for example, can climb in the tree with this saw very easily and cut something very fast and easily. Okay, let's see how it cuts fairly small stuff. So I will try to cut this maybe like 4 or 5 centimeters wide stuff over here. Okay, first you have to get up to speed before you attempt to cut it. And as you can see, it glides through pretty easily. Okay, so as you saw, it was pretty okay. Obviously with a bigger saw it would be much faster, but yeah, can't get much better for this price. Again, as you saw, none of the chips were actually flying at me when I actually was sawing. This guard is really good. Let's try to cut something bigger. This is 5 centimeters by 10 centimeters, so a fairly decent size. Okay, let's repeat. Okay, so that's that. Yeah, as you saw, pretty okay. Let's try to cut this big boy. So you can see it's absolutely massive, and see how long it takes. This is like 30 centimeters like this and 5 centimeters like this. Split in the middle, so it will fall apart, but let's see. So as you saw, yeah, it took like 20 seconds maybe to cut this absolutely massive like stalk. As you can see, yeah, absolutely great saw. And the finish of the cut, yeah, it's not a precision cutting, but yeah, it's okay, I guess, for a chainsaw. So overall, can I actually suggest you this saw? Well, absolutely, yep. This is actually great tool, and actually it's one of my most used tools right after maybe like a drill. So yeah, I have loads of Makita tools, but really this was very impressive for me. Again, we really have to consider the price of this thing. You can purchase this for around $30. Again, do not purchase super cheap ones for like $20. Make sure to purchase similar model to this one, a bit better one. And yeah, I really wish they actually maybe improve the chain lock mechanisms. Like again, after like 10 minutes of usage, sometimes it like becomes very loose and you have to unscrew it and adjust it. But I really, apart from that, I think, yeah, it's all there. Again, this is not super high-end tool, but for just like cutting up wood, for like pruning stuff, yeah, absolutely perfect. By the way, again, I have used this chain all summer, basically like 3 or 4 months, and I had to do a lot of pruning work. Also, I gathered like firewood for like 2 months worth of firewood with this chainsaw and with this original chain without having to sharpen it. I think at the moment I have to sharpen it, so maybe the cutting speed can be actually even faster with a sharp chain. Again, I have used this for like several months and it's probably a bit dull now. And when it was new, it was actually cutting even faster than in the video I showed you. Overall, yep, for this price, can't complain at all. Great tool. Good job. See you.